Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'll be making a track like Kaytranada, and this is what it'll sound like. If you want the project file and the stems of this track, it's available to download over my community. There are loads of other benefits in there, so you can check that out in the description. So I'm going to start with this kick from my monthly sample pack over my community, which sounds like this. I'm going to drag that in and just make a housey beat. Make that blue, and let's just loop that over. I've duplicated that kick layer and added a dirtier kick on this channel where I cut out the lows so it just plays on top. Added a clap. Another clap layer, a percussion loop, added this open hat, then added this hat rhythm here, this one-shot percussion which has some Valhalla vintage rib on it, and just this short hat on the offbeat, which I've panned a bit to the right. Let me just group all of these drums, and then we'll put a knock on it and really saturate the hell out of it. Okay, so now we gotta add some funky chords. I've just added this Keyzone Classic on, which is a free plugin. I've chosen the preset Rhodes piano, and then added some reverb on it to make it sound like this. And I'll just mess around on the keyboard to find a progression. We need some sidechain on that. And as you can see, this has like a human element to it because I've just pressed record and played it in my keyboard, and I haven't quantized it to make it fit on the grid perfectly. It's out of sync, but that's what makes it human, and that's what gives it the groove. For the bass, it's going to be really basic. I've just loaded up an init preset on Vital, chosen a basic square wave, and mapped this envelope here to this filter to make it sound like this. And down in the low octaves. And then we got a bark of dog to make the sub even warmer as well. And I'm going to copy over this progression and just keep the bass notes and then create a rhythm. Okay, so I've made a rhythm for the first two bars, and I'm going to copy this rhythm over on the notes over here to give it a constant rhythm but with changing notes. So when I play it through, you can kind of hear a clicky note every quarter note, and that's kind of because of the sidechain, because it cuts off like this, and that adds a click. So what you got to do is just fade it out slowly like this. That also means you have to create an automation lane for the duck, and that basically means that when you don't want any sidechain, you have to turn it off, because otherwise the duck will think that the volume should be at 0. But in this case, I'm only making the drop, so it doesn't really matter. We need some crunch here, so I've added a hard clipper on the master, which makes it sound like this. I'm going to add a counter melody to the piano sound, which will be in this Tal note. I've just chosen a pulse or square wave, turned on the chorus, made a very plucky ADSR, turned it to the envelope, which means that the envelope is mapped to the filter like this, and that makes this plucky sound here. And just a little bit of reverb too. and a low cut EQ on that as well. And we need that on the piano too. And on the bass, we're going to cut out some low mids. And then I added this labs with the preset Ghost handbells. I just took the chords from the piano sound and I stretched them out and kind of made them sustained. So they look like this now. We're also going to add a tape cassette on the master, turn off the impulse response, and turn up the low pass, off noise, and stuff like that to make it sound like this. I'm actually going to move that from the master to just the synths, because I kind of like the high end that the drums have. Then I've added another labs. I'm going to create a melody for the second half here. I've chosen the preset just normal handbells, added an RC20 with some noise, a very slight bit of vibrato, and some two pair distortion. And then lastly a reverb with 20% mix and a 2.4 second decay. And I'm going to duplicate that over here and just repeat it. And as you can see, I've been funny with the rhythm here and just put a lot of the notes, or all the notes, off the grid to give it that human feel once again. I forgot that I had a kind of key change here, so I'm going to switch up the melody just in this section over here. I made it sound like this instead now. We could just have a little outro section without the pianos. It does become too empty without the piano, so I'm just gonna stretch out and make the Rhodes sustained here. No, I'm just gonna copy over the chords from here. And on that, we're gonna turn the sustain down a bit so they're loud in the beginning. Oh, one final thing I'm going to do for transitioning is just cut out the kicks here and turn off the sidechain here to smoothly transition. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this track idea. Super groovy, super funky. Think it turned out really great. The project file and stems of this are available to download in my community, which is linked down below. But I'll play this track through, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing day, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.